Shalom. Before I begin, I want to give all praises to Yahweh and Ba'ashem Al-Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, and the Bond the city apostles and elders and millstone, and Shalom to the I came teaching his word. Got the four corners in true sincerity. I'm back with another lesson. This friend probably Ba'ashem Al-Shai, and I wanted to be edifying, unto the elect. This lesson, it's, the topic of this lesson, I don't have a very specific title, but, it's just going into how, we can't be attached, to certain things because that's a way for Satan, to try to come against us, to try to sift us, because we constantly, under attack. This is something I was just meditating about for the past 2 days, constantly, being under attack, and you have an attachment to something, or something seems as a weak point that can be attacked, and it may cause you to, basically even a weakness and hinder you from doing the work of Yahweh Shema Shai. So that's why you need to, prioritize certain things and make sure certain things get handled, first. And and you could, thing could be, lawful, like, your job, you like working your job and etc. But on certain days, that you're not gonna work because those days you study for the Lord, or certain times you don't do certain things because you study for the Lord, so you're not gonna pick up a shift, even though it may pay you a little extra. Or you may not go out to a certain place, even though you like going there around that time, because you have to, dedicate that time to the Lord. Okay, because you don't want the Lord to see that, okay, you putting this thing in front of me or putting this thing above me. Because it'll make the Lord jealous. Okay, and we know how Satan get. He's gonna cause certain things to happen where he's gonna try to cause us to fold, but we have to remain firm, in our belief, and continue to fear the Lord, because that's the number one thing. The fear of Yahweh Shema Shai. This Proverbs 1:7. It says, the fear of the Lord Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So the fear of the Lord Yahweh will keep you, in check. Don't think that, the Lord will let it slide. I'm gonna do this just this one time. I'm not saying you're gonna be perfect. I'm not saying you're gonna be perfect, but more times than usual. You know how to keep things, in check. Because you don't want to stray. You don't want to stray too far from the path. Because again, the Lord called us, to do this work. The Lord didn't call us in His truth to be, a perfect slave for Esau, Edom. The Lord didn't call us to be the biggest, money getting niggas, to be, the party man. No, He called us to, do the work first. Especially the Lord put the spirit on us to, teach. That's number one. So we got to make sure that we on point. Speaking to myself, first and foremost. Because these spirits know who we are. Remember, we're made unto a prey to these these different spirits. Okay, we go to Isaiah. This is Isaiah 59:15. It says, true faileth, and he that departed from evil make himself a prey. And Lord Yahweh saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. So, backing up the point I was saying, these different spirits, they know who we are. Okay, they're not wicked for doing it. They have a job to do. Like Satan. His job is basically, to tempt us. He's called, the tempter. Okay, so when we go through these different things, he's there to tempt us. Okay, the Lord uses him. It's not Satan against God. No, it's not that. Satan is a spirit created by Yahweh Shema Shai to tempt. Okay, to cause one to fall. But again, backing up what I said earlier too. You must remain firm within this truth. You can't be, wavering. One foot in, one foot out. You have to know and understand, not even just know, just understanding what this truly is about. Okay? Because again, we have many trials and tribulations that we have to go through. All right? And if you have an attachment, to something, that can make things worse for you. And I'm not saying cold ass nigga, straight face, never smiling. All right, we gotta play Carquette, etc. But don't let that one thing get taken away from you. It's like, you can't function like it's like a drug. You can become an addict, to certain things, because your flesh want to please itself by doing that certain thing. All right, and once it gets taken away from you, it's like, you can't function. All right, our number one job is to, please the Lord. All right, how can you please the Lord if you're not, pleasing the Lord, right? If you're not doing the work. Okay. The scripture, and Yahushua said it himself, right? When he was talking to Peter, it's Luke 22:11, and the Lord said, Simon, behold, Satan had desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. So again, all right, why you think you be fighting in your mind, or you think you be fighting, all right, these different spirits in your mind? It's because Satan is after us. All right, you think Satan is after a wicked ass nigga in the world, all right, making millions of dollars a month? Hell no. They after us, because we have this light. We shining in a world, all right, full of darkness. All right, and it's not like they don't like it, but again, it's their job to do it. All right, like, it says in Thessalonians. All right, we cannot. That 1 Thessalonians 3, and starting at 3, it says that no man should be moved by these afflictions. Right, because we go through afflictions, right, on a daily basis. For yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto. So the things that we go through, it's already been appointed. It's already been scheduled. All right, Lord has it that, all right, Satan is able to do certain things to us. All right, it says, for verily, when we were with you, we told you before that we should suffer tribulation, even as it came to pass, and as ye know, for this cause, when I could no longer forbear, I sent to know your faith, lest by some means the tempter have tempted you, and our labor be in vain. So again, all right, the tempter, okay, Satan is constantly, working. We have to look at this thing as a 24/7 battle. We are at war, all right, with things that we cannot see. All right, so don't think that something has happened to you for no reason. All right, I think that something is just happening to you just to happen. Like, somebody just, it's just happening. No. All right, there's something behind the scenes that's going on where, it's trying to make you fall. All right, it's trying to take you away, from Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, yeah, remember, it was never said that when you come to this truth that it was going to be a light thing. All right, you're suffering. Jake like to say, when I was in the world, I wasn't suffering like this. I mean, all right, you didn't know the names of Yahweh Shema Shai. You wasn't looked at as prey, right? The thing about looking as prey, it looks delicious, right, to these different spirits. So, just using that example, when a predator is a prey is seeking to take that prey, to eat that prey, because it's it's hungry. It looks good, right? It looks appetizing. Something about it, makes that predator want to come after it. When you was in the world, right, there was nothing to come after, right? You didn't know the names of Yahweh Shema Shai. You was calling on JC. You was being a nigga, all right. But now, Salat. But now, those same spirits and Satan that used to just pass by along, now they see you like, this is, this guy, he's different now. All right, I have to come after him. All right, with the permission of Yahweh Shema Shai, of course. But now they see, we're looked at as different. Like I said, these spirits know who we are. Like that spirit, what's that, Acts? It's Acts 19, starting 14. It says, and there was 7 sons, one Sheva, a Jew, and chief of the priests, which did so. And the evil spirit answered and said, Yahushua I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye? And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them and overcame them, and prevailed against them, so that they fled out of that house naked and wounded. So these different spirits, they know, who the men of the Lord are. All right. The same way how the angels that surrounding us know who we are. All right. So don't be shocked when certain things happen to you. All right. And don't be attached to certain things, because those spirits and Satan look at those things as, areas where they can attack, because it looks like a weakness. Like when that certain thing, when it bothers you, right? All right. Whether it could be on women, right? Because Satan can hop on your woman, or spirit can hop on your woman, right? To start fucking with you, start doing certain shit. But you cannot be emotional. All right. We have to judge all things. We have to be spiritual. All right. What is really going on? Why is this happening? Like, take a step back. Don't just jump. All right. The scripture say, I believe it says, be angry but sin not. So you have to take a step back and really analyze what the fuck is going on. Is it Satan? But 99% of the time it is Satan. All right. Because usually our lives are pretty simple. But once we start to add, certain things, that's when shit start to, what the fuck is this, right? Like, because again, our lives are simple. We do the work, we go to work. All right, we may go out here and there, rarely. All right, but once you add certain things to it, certain shit start happening. Like, what's this? Okay, it's Satan, man. But with that knowing this, quick lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashim, Al-Shah, Bashim, Chakodash, and all the city apostles and elders, great millstone, and Shalom to the Icon, teaching his word throughout the four corners. And sincerity, Akim was out of here, Shalom.